Now we'll create here select field like in demo, where we select the name of district and it will populate cities, and when we hit find it will show the data accordingly. Okay, so for that we'll need form. So I'm using this plugin Laravel Collective, so it has all the documentation here. So you can just put this on your composer file here. uh, so just put this here on your require. Okay, so require dev are for just development only, and require it for production as well as development. Okay, so when you hit composer install or update, these are the must in production. Okay, so these are for just development. In development they don't need to be there in your production environment, so just put it here because we need form in our production. Next you hit just do composer update. So I've already done that. So if you hit composer update, it will just install. And next you'll just add this to your provider in app config, so that Laravel know about this class. So config apps, so config app. Okay, so here under provider, here for package service providers. Okay, so these are core service provider and this is package. Next what it is, so we need to use this aliases so that we can use form and HTML when needed. So just copy them out and just move down in same file here at alias. You can just put here. Alright, so now our this package is set up. Next we will create the form. Okay, so this is how we create form. We have to open and close if you are familiar with Laravel 4. So this package is included in, so this is a Laravel package, but they decided not to put it on core, so there is separate package called Laravel Collective now, so which we have just installed. Next go to resource where your front view is, so that we can put form there. Alright, so this is our map is loading here. Now we'll put form here. So we are opening form and closing that. So for now we will not put any URL for now. Okay, so next we'll add a select field. So if you go to documentation, it is telling you how to add drop down list, or down below here. Okay, so this is how you put a select field. Okay, just so we don't need to use echo because we have that mustache like notation. So I will just copy that. Alright, so yes. Okay, so put them inside. So in my case there is auto completion. I'm using PHP Storm. So here, so just remove that colon. Okay, now if we go to our front page and reload, let's see. Okay, we are getting this select field. Why not just add some div around it, or br tag for now. So we'll make this prettier later. For now just we need functionality. Alright, so we have the select field. So if you want to label it, just use same, in this case form label, and name of the field will give this district. You can give state or whatever. So if you are confused, just look around. Okay, so name of label and what you want to call this label, district. Okay, so this label is for this name. Here we'll change that to district. Okay, yeah, so that will put district label here. Alright, so next we will load the city related in this district or states, so all cities in particular state. So if we select some state like Arizona, Louisiana, whatever, okay, so here in my country there are districts, so I will use districts. So for example, KTM and Lalitpur. So if I select Lalitpur, it should show the city in Lalitpur down below. Okay, so in order to do that, we'll just put here a div so that we can load the data here later using Ajax. So city. Okay, so in this div we'll load the data. Okay, so now we need a table to store the districts. Also in order to do that, we need to create model and migration. Okay, so let's do that. Okay, I will clear the terminal. So in order to create model, so if you are confused with command, just type php artisan and it will show all the commands. So to make model, here make model. Okay, so if so there are a couple of options in this particular command. So if you want to just know them, just type help. So for example, php artisan make model. Okay, so dash s will show you what are available. So dash m will create the migration as well. Okay, so dash s is help, we just did. Okay, so make model, so we'll create the model called location. Okay, so location dash m, it will create migration as well. Okay, I'm getting this error. So when I run this, it will show that. So if you get something like this error, so just type composer dump auto load. Okay, so it will show what is the so it will just read the composer file and so make auto load. Okay, so if there is something error, it will show me. So now currently it is showing there is error in composer JSON. So I'll go there and look for the error. Okay, so here is the unnecessary comma. So now if I hit composer dump auto load, so this is just way to refresh the composer.json. okay, so now if you run the same command, make model location, it should work. Okay, yeah, so this is how you debug. Okay, so if you come into problem, just do these. Okay, composer dump auto load. All right, so moving on, so let's go to the file we just create location table, locations table. So create location. All right, I'm spelling wrong. Location table, yeah. So here is boilerplate for us. So we'll add fields. So first field will be for districts. All right, string, it is gonna be string. So I will just duplicate these codes, and so second level is city. Okay, so this is the top level. You can add whatever, so state, country, whatever. Okay, so top level, so one level down. Next city will create let and long value, so these will be float decimal points. Okay, so one for latitude and LNG. Alright, so these are the tables. So now let's migrate that. So I'll clear the console, php artisan migrate. Yeah, so that migrated. Now if I see here in the database, I'll reload, and here is the location table. Okay, so currently we have no data, so next. So now that our table is in place, next we'll seed them with some data. Okay, so for that we will use seeder, table seeder. Okay, so now from now onward I will hit PA for PHP Artisan. Okay, so I've created this alias in my bash profile. Okay, so PA means PHP Artisan. Okay, so so that you don't confuse. So now we'll create the table seeder. So if you hit PHP Artisan, so there is command for creating seeder, so make seeder. Okay, so let's do that. So PHP Artisan make seeder. So name of seeder is location table seeder. So maintain this convention. Okay, so name of the table and followed by table seeder. So make seeder location table seeder. Alright, so seeder created successfully. So let's get back to our projects. I'll search for location table seeder. So this is the table seeder created for us. Okay, so now table seeder is created. Now we'll use this library, faker, Faginino2 faker. Okay, so this will create the data like so. Okay, so you can read documentation, and I have video for that also, if you want to know about this in detail. So looks like Laravel has already included this package. If you see here, it is loading, so we'll just use that. Okay, we don't need to composer install update. Okay, so we don't need to do that because Laravel is 5.3 is already loading that. Next, in this file location table seeder which you have just created, we'll call that faker library. Okay, so I'll create a variable called faker where there will be, so if you look at the documentation here, it is telling us how to use that. So this is how we create the instance. Okay, so faker factory create. Okay, so faker factory create. Okay, so this is how we instance the faker instance. Okay, so next we can create the name like so. So for now we want to populate the location table with the data, so we will do that. So first, so we want several data, that's why I will use for loop. Okay, so I will populate about 100 datas. Okay, okay, so like so. So inside this loop I will create, so location, I will create the data, I will assign the data from faker to database columns. Alright, so create, so this is how you create the data. So I'm assigning that to now we have table called district, and next faker district. So if you see, I have no access to this district in core, in this instance, because I'm using the default one. So for my country, faker has created this library NANP. So if I pass this parameter for Nepal, okay, So now I have access to this district variable. Okay, district. So now this will create the district specific for this country. Okay, so you can read the documentation. Next we'll populate the cities. So same thing, faker city name. So if you are wondering how I'm getting this, this all in a documentation. Okay, so here what to use, there is long list of that. So for location, basic uses, all the stuffs. Okay, so in order to access, these are the parameters like so. Alright, so for now, so we are populating that city. Next we'll put the let and long value. So previously we are just putting that in database. Now it is coming from our seeder. So these will be unique. So this will not create the duplicate value. So for latitude, so my if you look at the map of my country, so latitude value is extending from 28 from about here to here. So I'm gonna use range 27 to 30. Okay, so 27 to 29. Okay, so what this will do is this will create the all latitude value. Okay, unique latitude value from this value to this range. Okay, between these range. Okay, I'll duplicate this. And for longitude, so longitude is extending from about where 81 to 88. Okay, so 81 to 88. So this is just for testing purpose. Okay, in production environment we will put the more relevant values. So LNG. Alright, so now we are creating data. Okay, about 100 datas. So this is how you load the table seeder. So next we'll create the table seeder for girls table also. Okay, so now location table, next for girls table. Okay, so these are hard-coded value. So we'll run same command, make seeder, this time not location, girls table seeder, girls table seeder. Alright, so this will create that seeder. Okay, so why not just copy this code? Okay, why not copy this whole code and let's go to girls table seeder, Control A, Control V. We need to change this location to girls. Alright, so this time this is all set, but here name lat long. Okay, so we'll put here, so there are 3 tables we need to fill up. Name, we don't need city. Alright, so name, so this should create the name. Alright, so okay, so we want to create the more data for girls, like 500, because there should be many girls in location. Okay, so alright, so now we have created table seeder. So we need to in order to insert the data in database, we need to call them. So if you go inside database seeds, here we created these two, and inside this database seeder we need to call that. Okay, so here is demo code. So I will uncomment this and this. So call the location table, location table seeder, also girls table seater. Okay, so we are calling these two functions from our database seater. So now we are all set. So now run command php artisan db seed. So this should seed the data to database. Alright, so there is error. Okay, alright, so where is the error, right? So I just copied that code and I forgot to change this. Okay, so in order to put that, we need to use curl. Okay, so that's my mistake. So now if you run the same command, that should see it. Yeah, so if you look at database and refresh, yeah, there are data like 503. Okay, 3 we created manually and 500 from that table seater. Alright, so location also contains data. So this is how we seed data. Okay, so this is a lot faster way instead of typing that. Okay, so another the plus point of creating these, will you can just pass this file to your co-worker or anyone. Okay, so you will create just db seed and all data will be populated in seconds. Okay, alright, so here also use call. Okay, my bad. Okay, that is using there. So in my ID that will automatically create here. So if there is error, just make sure to use this model. Okay, so always remember, if you are using model, just use that. Okay, same here. Okay, okay, now we need to create a Ajax search. If we click this, okay, so it should load the city. So now we'll create that file. So inside public javascript, so js, so here I'll create a new file. Okay, so I'll call that Ajax search.js. okay, so here I'll use the same doc. So inside here we'll create that Ajax. Okay, so whenever we clicked on that district div, okay, so click, we will create the request. Alright, so twice. Okay, so here first of all we'll get, so if you see in front page we have given this. Okay, we haven't given that ID yet, so we can wrap this around, okay, this around the div with ID district. So I will wrap this form field around that district ID. Okay, so now whenever we click on this ID, so this Ajax request will be triggered. Okay, so rest is same as previous. So we will do post request to http // localhost / search city. Okay, search city. So we'll post the request to this URL. We haven't created that yet, we'll do in a moment. So whenever we create, first of all we'll get the value, district value. Okay, so district dot val. Okay, so we'll get the value in that div. Alright, so slight modification. Okay, so we don't need div here, so we are using that Laravel collective we have to pass it here, okay, inside that. So here create just new array, okay. So if you are confused about that package, just search for that inside drop down. We are allowed to create, yeah, so one for name of that list, value, default value, and then okay. So at the moment we have no default value, so you need to pass this null, okay, otherwise it will think that this is the default value, so which is not. So here div id, class and id will be district, okay. So yeah, so id is district. All right, so now, so whenever we click on that, we'll get the value inside the select field, okay. And after that we'll post we'll request, okay, we'll do post request with the default value of dist val, okay, district val. This is the key which we assigned, and value will be district, okay. Why not give that dist val, okay. All right, so dist val, so we're passing that data, and whenever, so after we get the result from server, okay, so that will be inside match, and we'll use that data to put inside city div. All right, so div, we need to use this, so we'll populate that with this matched element like so, okay. So I think this is all about that. So now we need to create this route, okay, called search city. So let's go to web.php, and here we'll create post routes because we are doing post request. We'll call that search city, so that should match up search girls controller, yeah, search girls controller, and the method will be, yeah, same method, search city, okay. So let's create this method inside here, met search city, okay. So make that lowercase, so follow the convention, SEAR. So these are typos, okay, you need to consider, yeah, search girls controller, same, yeah. So that's cool. Now, so let me quick recap. What we are doing is just assigning id here, and inside this function we are doing the post request to this URL. This URL points to this method in search controllers over here, okay. So now here we'll write the logic to get the matched elements, to return the matched elements to the controller, okay, to the requested place, which is the city, yeah, which is the city div inside that. So city div is here, okay. So here we'll put that matched value. Now let's do that, okay. So inside search girls controller, so first of all we are getting this dist value from here, so we'll catch that up here first. So use the request instance request, okay. So dist val, so request dist val, okay. So use the name of the key, Okay, so we are getting that. Next, so we'll query for matched cities. So cities, so why not just give it matched cities, matched, so cities that are matched for that particular district. Okay, so we'll location, so make sure, okay, you use app location. So location where district, so district is this dist val. Okay, dist val. Okay, so lists, city. So let me explain this first. Let me write that out. Okay, we are querying for all the district here inside location. Okay, all districts where the district will be the district value coming from our request. Okay, so that request is coming from our front page. Okay, so whatever we choose here will be sent to here. Okay, so now we query for that, and we are making the list of that. Okay, key value pair, so key will be city name, this city name. Okay, so value will also be city name. So these city are the key of the database table. Okay, columns name. Okay, so just not name, so these will construct all the keys with this. Okay, so walling will be the key and value will also be the key, since we are using city in both place. Okay, so these are the all data in that particular column, so this will has all the data in that column. Okay, alright, so we contain the key value pair or array of matched cities. Next, we'll return the view with that data. Okay, so return view, so name of view will be Ajax result, so Ajax result, so which we'll create in a moment. So we'll pass that data compact, so compact matched cities. Okay, yeah, so we'll return that view. So let's create that view. So inside view, so let's create new blade Ajax results. Okay, yeah, so this view will contain our that form. Okay, so generally that will contain the same thing, like, but data will be different. Okay, so just copy that, so Ajax result, so instead that will contain city. Okay, city. So since we are passing that matched cities here, we can use that matched cities. Okay, so default value will be null for now, and yeah, so ID district, yeah, that's working. Okay, yeah, matched cities, so make sure that spelling is not wrong. Yeah, so I forgot D here. Okay, so now we are returning this view to our front page. Okay, using this Ajax request. Okay, so let's test that out. So before testing, just make sure here is also the district value. Okay, so here should be all the districts. Okay, so we are not passing data from anywhere, so we'll pass here. So this is loading the front view. Here we'll just pass all the district. Okay, so same thing, we'll construct the list. Okay, like so, just copy it from search cities and front page, sorry, go to web.php, and here instead of match cities we'll pass the districts. Okay, districts. So in this case we'll be passing all the cities. Okay, since we need all cities to appear there in our select field. Okay, so that we can choose accordingly. Yeah, so here we'll pass that compact districts. So here's modification district, and another one will also be district. So if you have any confusion, just comment down below. Okay, I'll help you. Okay, so now in front page.plate.php we can use that district. Okay, so I think everything should work fine. So now if we reload that, okay, it is saying location not found in our web.php. Okay, so in web.php, let's go there. So we are using, so the problem is here. Okay, we are using location but we are not importing that up here. So use app location. Okay, so yeah, now that should work. Okay, call to undefined method. Okay, so it is saying undefined query builder. Okay, so I think in Laravel 5.3 there is a replacement for this, not list plug. Okay, so plug, use that plug. Alright, so let's test that now. Yeah, okay, so they replaced lists with plug. Okay, so same thing, so they should work same. Okay, so now we are getting the list of all of our districts. So for example, if I choose anyone, for now this is not loading. Let's see what is the problem. This is how you inspect. So there is no error at the moment. So I think there is no default data for this particular district available. So yeah, okay, so the reason we are not getting data is we are not including that in our not including that file. Okay, this file in our HTML page. Okay, so sorry, not this file, JS file, our ajax.js. so just use that in your layout, master layouts, like so here. Okay, alright, so ajax.js. Next, so as I have already told you, if you use that here, okay, so we have to pass CSRF token in order to do Ajax request. So if you have seen my previous video of Ajax fetching data using Ajax, okay, so you will know that we have to define this in our api.php, not web.php. okay, so like here. Okay, so any route which we have to do Ajax request on, we should define here. Okay, so I will duplicate this, and not search girls this time, search cities. Okay, or search city only, I guess. Yeah, search cities, city only. Yeah, search city. So now this time we need to put API in front of that, because all the routes in api.php contains this prefix. Okay, so always remember, so this is to post request, don't use web, use API instead. Alright, so search city. So just remove that from here, we don't need here. Okay, alright, so now reload that, and if you click on here, just inspect. Okay, what's the error? Okay, this is the problem. So can you figure out what is the problem? Okay, if you see the console here, so this is the URL we are trying to load. Okay, so that is the problem. Okay, so inside the Ajax search, so one extra column creates that much problem. Okay, so be careful, guys. Alright, so here, now that should work. Alright, no errors this time. Yeah, we're getting these, guys, come on. Yes, so that's working. So according to the district name, the city field is coming up here. Okay, so you can alter CSS to make this look prettier, so I'm not going to waste the time there since this is the PHP class. Okay, alright, so now we are getting the data, so we need to call the create map. Okay, inside the scripts. Okay, so we'll do that next.